and in a good spot. Guys got back to work yesterday with a good practice, high energy, very intentional on what the job is that we're up against going into LSU here, and getting a head start on that, whether it be last week or yesterday. So we'll be back at it tomorrow morning, and got an exciting week, preparing for a good football team. So one update, just want to give, because I know I haven't had a chance to, just with the timing of everything, with when we've met Cole Adams with his injury, just an update there. He'll be out for the year. So we had to deal with that, last week, and unfortunately, just because Cole's a guy that pours everything into it, had an injury earlier in the season. Honestly, at the time, probably thought that was going to be something more significant as far as the time frame with the first one. Just seeing the effort he put into that first injury, you really found out a lot about who he was as a person, as a player, just the toughness he had. And unfortunately, he had another injury here now, and lower body injury, and so we'll be done with the season here this year. Questions?
All right, start with Charlie on the far right.
Just with Cole, and you also have Jalen out, just what do you do from a receiver standpoint to kind of, replenish that depth?
Yeah, and the season has the flows, right? The guys that are in, the guys that are out. A couple weeks ago, we had multiple guys out with K-Law and Kobe, and that's where Cole got more playing time as well as some others, and so again, unfortunately, we aren't at full strength there, but just much like most of the teams across the country are. So you're shorthanded, but you mix and match, and you continue to find the versatility in guys and put them into spots, and coach them up. And there's a lot of cross training that happens within positions, and receivers one of them. So guys that can play inside and outside both, we're going to utilize them to their fullest potential. But it's always all hands on deck, especially this time of the year.
Chase on the far left.
What were your thoughts about the edict from the SEC on Friday with the penalties for defenses faking injuries, and how much do you think faking injuries really impacts the integrity of the game?
Well, I guess the rules have been the rules, and so just having to find another level of enforcement, I think, and seriousness about it is what's happening here. And so from our end, I already talked to our players, our staff. It doesn't change what we do, because we go about it, and if you are hurt, and you need to stay down, especially if it's substitutions that need to be made. You need to be looked at, but you can put yourself in some tough positions if you really truly are hurt, and that's I really feel like with what our team does and how we operate, how it's going to continue to be. So I've been on the other end where there's situations at the end of the game or whatever it might be that get a little frustrating, and that can happen at any time. But the rules have been the rules, and so we'll just continue to go about business as we always have here in our program.
Yeah, now that you know that Cole's out for the year, do you want to have just one punt returner, or how do you want to handle that position moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, you will go with, who you feel best about, obviously. We need to continue to always build depth. Said this at the beginning of the year to our special teams, coordinator with Jay Nunez. He does a great job, but also just in developing returners. It isn't just your upperclassmen that you can do it, you have confidence in, but it's also developing younger guys. And you've seen just as much as anyone has that we have younger guys that we've been putting out there with Bach and Ryan, and we need to continue to develop more and more. Not just for today, not just for the next couple of games or the rest of the season, but also for the future, years to come. And so just over and over, you just can't catch enough kicks, punts, and then all the situations that come along with it, when to field it, when to fair catch it, the communication that happens, just being comfortable back there. It's reps and reps and reps of that. And so we're going to always continue to develop more and more guys. And kind of who you've been seeing is who we'll start out with Bach and Ryan. But whether we pick just one or the other, I think there's also pieces with the flow of the game, and just things like that might dictate, or even a situational call that we want to where we have a certain guy out there.
Jump back over to the left, Katie.
Nick just talked about the importance of starting fast on the road. Vanderbilt, it was a pick six first offensive possession. Tennessee 3 and out. So just in general on offense on the road, how important is it to start fast? Then specifically kind of with this game this weekend.
Yeah, certainly, and that's something we're always preaching. And unfortunately, as you mentioned, in those 2 games, we haven't done that. And there's been a lot of in the Vanderbilt game, I think we quickly got going, had success. You just can't dig yourself a hole, especially given the opponent a momentum in an environment like we're going to see at LSU. So it's critical. We preach it every day. We try to even set up our practice to where we do start fast, whether it's offense or defense. And, we didn't get that done the last 2 road games, as you mentioned. So always an emphasis on that, but really it comes back to not really, the guys are trying. It's just a matter of, doing things that you do well, going out there and executing.
Stay on that same row. Let's go to Colin.
Hey, Kalen, I'm curious what you've seen out of Elijah Pritchett at right tackle recently. It seems like from our perspective that he's struggled a little bit from that position. How have you seen him kind of handle the last off week, and how comfortable do you feel about the right tackle position right now?
Yeah, I think Elijah's got a ton of potential, and a lot of things that he's grown in. There's always the areas, and at this time of the year, there's enough film on someone to where teams attack you certain ways, and whether we're talking about the tackle position or it could be anywhere, defensive back, defensive line. You put on film as a team, as an individual, the things that opponents are going to look at, and so he's continued to work hard every single day. I mean, he comes out to practice, he's competitive. I feel like his growth has been kind of proven over the year. I think there's a consistency to him that is higher than what it was at the beginning or even the middle of the season. And, that's what you're looking for. That's all you can ask in your players, is that they continue to grow, they can continue to, improve. And he's doing that. And, we'll continue to help him as coaches. That's our job.
All the way back right, Ryan.
Hey, Coach. Many people believe this one on Saturday must win for Alabama. What's your approach? This is why you come to Alabama for games like this, and what's been the attitude with you going into a game where there's really not a lot of wiggle room left this season?
Yeah, and that's, you saw our response, I think, with the Missouri game, because really, that was the case there. And, I say that, and then all of a sudden you start thinking, well, why wasn't that the case when we went to Tennessee? Well, it was. It's just more experiences that you have together, the backs of the wall, there's different things that different teams respond well to, and at least for the first test, and Missouri was at home, we got off to a fast start defensively, did a nice job there, and just continued to apply pressure, I think, offensively. And once we got the field position in our favor, we kind of cracked through. But for us, it's just always going back to really the process and, the work that needs to be put in, the areas we needed to continue to improve on. And the guys, I use the word intentional a lot, whether it's here, whether it's with our team. We have to be intentional, and we got to bring that energy in order to really continue to improve, and they're doing that. And they want to make something big of this season, and it's supported through the action that you see on the practice field. You see it in just the way they're going about their business off the field. Just the details that really continue to hone in on. And it's just a matter of time, right? As the season goes on, you become more comfortable with what we're doing, whether it's our scheme or just the routine or each other. And a lot of our youth is rising up and continuing to gain more and more confidence, mixed in with the veterans that continue to bring great leadership. So I like where we're at. Unfortunately, like you said, we have less wiggle room. And our backs are to the wall, and so we're going to fight each and every day, bite, scratch, and claw, like you've never seen, and that continues on this week.
Lee Grace in the back left.
Coach, on the other side of a bye week, what indicators are you looking for in your team that lets you know is productive and that their mindset is in the right place for a game like LSU?
You're talking about like this week? Yeah, I think last week and this week is a great indication. I guess this week I'm talking about yesterday's practice. Ton of energy. There was a purpose, just very deliberate in how we went out there. There's emotion and there's energy, but it's really focused on the right things. And the leaders, what I challenge our team to do is not just have the leaders that have been the leaders step up, but have, at this point, a team full of leaders. We can't have, these freshmen aren't freshmen. The new guys that come into this program aren't just new guys anymore. This is our team, and that's been the message, but really for them to all raise their game as leaders. That means accountability for themselves, ourselves, each individually, and then also bring someone else with you. And that's been the challenge the last couple of weeks, and I continue to kind of hone in on that.
All right, we're going to finish up with Tony here on the left.
What have you seen from Robbie Utes, and how big is his ability to kind of handle some of that dirty work that maybe goes unnoticed on offense?
Yeah, and he does some things on special teams too with Robbie. He's just a really versatile guy, becoming more versatile when it comes to special teams and offense. I think he's one of those guys that when you talk about the reps that you've had now in our offense and how we teach things, and just getting used to the locations that we're going to put him as a tight end, but even in a fullback role, the spots that we put him all over on the field, the reps have helped him really develop and grow. And now you see him not just going out there and trying to execute what's on paper and what the play's supposed to be, but he's actually going out there and making plays. I think the first play or early in the game, we went right to him, and just like it was second nature for him, to run the route, to catch the ball, to get vertical and run through people like he's used to doing. And he's a guy that our team looks to because he's very just unselfish. Will do whatever it takes for our football team to be successful, and that happens through his effort, happens through his attitude. You can just see it, and he's a pleasure to have on our football team, pleasure to coach.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you. Roll Tide.